Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we find ourselves in Arena to witness a gladiatorial battle between HGB playing as the blue Magyars and Survivalist playing as the red Malay. Now while both players explore their immediate bases, herd their herdables, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. The Magyars, in my opinion, an incredibly well-rounded civilization that can put a lot of early game and late game aggression. Early game, their foot archers have more line of sight, their scout line is cheaper, and their villagers kill wild, dangerous animals like this Komodo dragon with one fell swoop. Now, in an open map, Magyars can put on a lot of feudal aggression, but I don't really expect that to happen because as I zoom out, you can see this is not an open map. This is a closed map. That suggests to me that we're going to see either castle or imperial age aggression just by virtue of little ibex got away from him for a second. As I was saying, we're going to see some, I hope we're going to see some good castle age and imperial age aggression, which in my opinion is where the Magyars shine. As I mentioned, their scout cavalry line is 15% cheaper from the beginning of the game, and they get all attack upgrades for free. So forging, iron casting, blast furnace, all for free. In addition to the cost of these upgrades, think about the amount of time. I think blast furnace itself is 100 seconds to research. So you save not only the money, but you save the amount of time it takes to actually get that upgrade. Their cavalry archers do get extra range and extra attack. So very versatile, lots of cool options for the Magyars to play in the late game, including their unique unit, which is the Magyar Hussar. Now, it's very similar to a normal Hussar, except instead of having an attack bonus against monks, it has an attack bonus against siege. I don't know why I zoomed in on villagers when I said monks. These are obviously not monks. But the Magyar Hussar specializes in killing siege, which is good for HGB because his opponent is Survivalist. And if you've seen my, I think I was maybe 2 weeks ago, and a few games that I've watched of Survivalist before, the man likes to go siege towers. We'll see if he does that against the Magyars. He's good enough to know that they do get a bonus against siege. So I don't know if that's going to be a viable option for Survivalist, but still a cool feature of the game for HGB. Now, the Malay. I'm a little bit scared for HGB just because the Malay are, I think they're classified as a naval civilization, but on closed maps like Arena, where the game tends to go a bit later, there's not a lot of feudal action unless you're facing an opponent who's either incredibly aggressive or playing a civilization like the Cumans. Usually you see, let me put it like this. There's 3 stages of an Arena game, and I'm going to zoom out so we can take a look at the map. The first stage is everyone rushes to castle. The second stage, everyone tries to collect these relics. And then the third stage is where all hell breaks loose and the opponents just start pummeling each other and trying to kill each other in a civilized way on the computer. Now, when it gets to late game, I think Malay are incredibly well endowed. But before I get there, they do have 2 very cool bonuses. The first is they go up in age 66% faster, which is incredible. If you think about it, it gives you the amount of time to build more villagers than your opponent. Usually you like to see pro players go up to the next age from dark to feudal with 20 villagers. The Malay can do it with maybe 22, 23, 24 because of how fast they actually go up. That being said, we'll leave it up to Survivalist to plan out how, his plan of attack. I'm not going to tell him how to play. Second cool bonus does reach in Imperial. Battle elephants become 40% cheaper. So you have one of the most powerful units in the game, and it is 40% cheaper. Now, keep in mind, a few days ago, Age of Empires actually buffed the elephant, and I apologize. I just recently learned the difference between buffing and nerfing. I apologize. I am an old person, and so elephants now are 10 food cheaper. So in addition to the 40% discount, that makes elephants an incredibly viable option for Survivalists. Now, the rest of the Malay bonuses and features, etc., are all mostly water-based. So we're not going to see any of that here, fishing traps, etc. What we might see, and what I'm hoping to see every time I see a Malay player, is the Karambit Warrior. Now, this is the quintessential trash unit. Each Karambit warrior accounts for only half a population, so you can swarm your opponent with them. If you make 50, they only take up 25 space. They are great for raiding, for just because of how fast they are. I think they do get a tiny attack bonus against buildings, so they can demolish structures fairly quickly. And overall, it's a very fun unit to watch, because usually you see them in clumps, and large clumps of units is why I love Age of Empires, watching armies just duke it out, battle and meet on the battlefield, and just try to kill each other. So Malay also have a bonus or upgrade, whatever you want to call it, for infantry, but I very rarely see a Malay player go infantry, so I'm not going to mention that because they don't have champions. It's not a very viable strategy, in my opinion, especially if you're going up against a hard-hitting, fast-paced civilization like the Magyars. I don't think the infantry line, aside from halberdiers, is really a viable option. So those are the two civs. Lots of different ways this game can go. I'm very excited to see. Let's see what the players have seen. So take a look at the mini map. Survivalist has seen all 5 relics. He's seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our blue Magyar has seen 1, 2, 3, 4. But unfortunately, oh my god, look at this, covered by this one little peninsula of darkness is this one relic. So he has not seen the 5th one. That being said, as I was yammering on about civilizations and how old I am, the players are both in Feudal, and let's see if I was right about whether or not this game is going to progress in the usual 3 stages of fast castle, relic collection, and then bruising and battling and just trying to beat the shit out of each other. So, market, blacksmith going down, so already we can tell that Survivalist wants to go up to fast castle by virtue of the fact that he has the resources and the fact that he just clicked up as I finished that sentence. Stable and market for our Magyar, who now is 50 food away from being able to go up. And he has the food, and now he's going up. So our Magyar player is about 1 minute and 20 seconds behind Survivalist. Not the end of the world, especially on a closed-off map. We'll follow the blue scout as he, hopefully sees finally. Okay, so he sees the relic. Let's see if he notices. I apologize. There's a lot of cars in the parking lot. If you hear a random errant engine gunning or a horn honking, that is the parking lot outside my apartment. Let's see if these two engage with each other. Yes. Fairly equal so far. Survivalist decides to disengage, return home. Oh, he's got to be careful, HGB. Okay, will he go in? Oh, no, this is bad for HGB. Well, I shouldn't say bad. I mean, number one, he's going to lose this scout. They always die when they get inside a base, but he's going to get a lot of valuable scouting. Let's see what he sees. If he sees any tech structures or military buildings. For now, he's going to just explore. Both players essentially doing what I thought they would do. So Survivalist is now in castle. Immediately plops down a monastery. Okay, so we're going to see a relic gathering war here. Phase 1 of the game is done. Or rather, will be done in 36 seconds when HGB clicks up to castle. Okay, so I actually like this by HGB. You know what? He knows he's going to lose this scout just by virtue of the fact that it's stuck behind stone walls and it's got literally 12 HP. So it's going to die. But man, is he seeing a lot. This is like a Arabia for him. These walls for Survivalist may not even exist. There's no point. Okay, town center for both going down. No monastery yet for our blue Magyar. So is he going to leave the relic collection up to our Malay player who has already almost produced his first monk? Okay, gets shooed away by the villager. HP goes down to 9. Okay, both players, you know, an indication of relic wars. Okay, so monastery is going down. Okay. I was going to say an indication of relic wars, especially on a map like Arena. Okay, he does die. Okay, but my god, the scouting. I'm gonna highlight a random unit. Look at this. He saw everything. Saw the barracks. No, okay, never mind. He did not see the monastery. So as I was saying, usually an indication of relic wars is players loading up on scout cavalry, potentially even light cav if they've got the resources and the micro to handle upgrading them, so that these light cav can go and stand next to relics, defend them, because you best believe there are monks coming out. And these scout cavalry, I mean, they're weak as shit, but they are the natural predator. Look, 1, 2, and a third, and the monk is dead. So super quick. They are the natural hunters of monks. Wow, 2 fantastic trades here for HGB. And now he has full map control by virtue of just having 3 light cavs. So that's what I was saying. If you notice that your opponent is all of a sudden producing a bunch of scout cavalry, light cavalry, and they're out on the map and posturing, you know they want to gather relics. That being said, what are we at monk count? 1 for our red Malay monk, who has now gathered 2 relics for himself. And going up to 2 for our blue Magyar. A 3rd town center went down for Survivalist while I was talking. So his villager count should pretty much start exploding beyond HGB's just by virtue of how early he has a 3rd town center, which, as you can see, is currently researching wheelbarrow. But the second that's done, I expect villagers to start coming out. So he's on the map aggressively, HGB, with 4 scout cavalry. He does not want these relics to get into enemy hands. A blue dot on the minimap moving incredibly slowly tells us that a monk is en route. And finally, a 3rd town center going down for him. Okay, interesting location. I mean, not close to the wood and not super close to the stone. What do you think? Would he have been better placed serving it here or on this side? I don't know. In any event, a 3rd town center finally going down for him. He's got himself now a 2nd relic if he manages to get home. I think right now he's got 1. Yep. And another monk slowly making his way to get the relic. I don't see any red dots on the mini-map outside of his base. Survivalist is cooking something up. He is foregoing a lot of map vision. I mean, let's take a look at what he sees. He sees nothing. This is his vision of his enemy's base. A bunch of walls. On the other hand, his enemy, who's building a blacksmith, okay, in the middle of the map, this is his vision of his opponent's base. So advantage here to HGB at the moment. We'll see how he uses it. Survivalist is banking a lot of gold. He's going up to 800 gold. But Relic advantage is going to our blue Magyar 3-2. So his gold count is going to start going up a little bit quicker than Survivalist. The question is, will Survivalist care? Look, by virtue of having that 3rd town center up earlier, he's already at 63 villagers, 64, going up to almost 70 to Survivalist, who's going up to 56. So he's literally, once the cycle of production finishes, is going to be up 14 villagers at the 22-minute mark of the game. So he's cooking it. Like I said, he's cooking something up. I don't know what. Let's take a look at his structures and see if we can... Okay, interesting. A siege workshop inside. Survivalist is generally a bit more aggressive in the games that I've seen. I like seeing a more defensive play. Like, if you've watched my casts, you know that I've said multiple times that I'm more of a defensive player myself, which is why I lose games. But I've known Survivalist mostly to be a very aggressive player. So that's why I said he's cooking something up. And that something is very fast Imperial. Very fast Imperial. His opponent is nowhere close. HGB is sitting on 100 food, while Survivalist is a minute and a half away from being an Imperial. That being said, what does he plan on producing? Okay, we have a barracks. So, of course, right as I say that infantry is not a good option for Malay, Survivalist goes and builds a barracks. Or, sorry, this was a blacksmith. I apologize. Okay, so never mind. It makes sense why he's building a barracks. We'll see if now a stable or an archery range follows. Okay, castle. He let HGB into his base again. And here comes HGB with a mangonel. Let's see what he can get done with this. Gets a convert on one of the scouts. Not something you see every day. But HGB trying his darndest to get a reconvert that scout. Look at it with the blue arrow on top. But it wisely goes out of the range of that monk, who is stuck outside of the base for now with 2 mangonels. What did he want to build here that he stopped? I see another structure. Okay, siege workshop in the middle of the field. I mean, HGB's vision is amazing. Look at this. He sees everything. He's got a bit of a dark spot here on the eastern portion of Survivalist base. Not that Survivalist is really going out that way. Here we go. Yes, a Karambit warrior. I said I wanted to see them. Christmas came early. Loses 1 to a convert. Loses 2 to a convert. Okay. So I bet when you woke up this morning, you didn't think you'd see a Magyar Karambit warrior. I certainly did it, but here they come. They're starting to swarm at a Survivalist. I mean, I don't think he needed... Oh, so apologies for that. I don't think... Yeah, here we go. I don't think he needed all that gold. I think that was mostly for going up to Imperial. But yes, 4 battle elephants en route. It almost looks like the Karambit warrior is kicking the structure, right? When he takes that big step forward. We got an annoying watchtower that's just going to annoy this one villager who is just going to relocate 2 centimeters to the left and be fine. But my god, is HGB trying to ring Survivalist's position with watchtowers and outposts. That being said, he's kind of abandoned his center of the map position. Take a look at the mini-map. There's no more blue dots except for 2 structures, which have 3 scorpions in them. Ugh. Not... I think HGB wasn't expecting this mass Karambit. Okay, so... Yeah, it's so annoying when you hitch accidentally a faster-moving unit like the Karambit warrior to a monk who moves half as fast, and then everybody moves slower. What's HGB gonna do here? He responds with knights. Okay. Magyars, knights, makes sense. Let's see. They'll get this monk if he's watching. And here we go. Ungarrisons the scorpions, who are just going to die immediately to these Karambits. I don't think Karambits get a bonus against anything. Siege or cavalry. Wow. Okay, nice. I mean, one of my favorite units in this game is the elephant one, just because look at the cool graphics. I'm such a sucker for graphics and just little things like their little tails that are moving around as they waddle back in their red, what are these, like, sweatbands on their legs? What people wear when they work out. I wouldn't know because I don't work out. Okay, for now, the knights are shooing away these elephants. I don't think they really... Survivalist really needs to shoo away here. I mean, what is this? 7 elephants against 10 knights. Look at the HP at the bottom left of your screen. 1300 HP to 1100, but finally HGB gets a convert, takes one of the elephants for himself, and all of a sudden the HP evens out. But more elephants streaming across the map from Survivalist, who has now cleared up this tower with the elephant, which is now busy working its way down the western portion of the map. Okay, and both players taking a bit of a breather. Survivalist clearing up the center position, which for some reason, HGB was very confident in his ability to hold the center by building this ram. I think he thought his knights would do more. Will this elephant... Oh, look at these trebs just attack grounding, trying to get this any kind of hit they can against these units. But here come the pike. They get a massive bonus. I think it's high 20s, low 30s, maybe 20. For some reason, I'm having a brain fart between 28 and 32. It's one of those attack bonuses. In any event, they're incredibly cost effective against these elephants, even though they die. Number 1, they're cheap as shit. And number 2, they distract the elephants so that the monks can convert. Gets 1 convert, 2 convert. And that's all we're going to see in terms of conversion. These catapults are not a good idea here. Wow, this is fantastic. I mean, anytime you have elephants battling knights, HGB is just going full castle age here. He is not gathering any of the resources that he needs to get up to Imperial. That being said, his villager count now exceeds HGB's, I think, by Survivalist. I think by virtue of the fact that Survivalist had a bunch of villagers here in the center who thought themselves heroes and then paid the price for it. Come on. Somebody attack somebody here. Okay, so the Karambits gunned down that pike who had no business being there. Defensive castle going down for HGB. Not a lot of villagers on it, so it will take a bit of time to complete. As I said, the Magyars just automatically get the attack bonuses, so the knights are sitting at a +2/+2 against a +2/+1 of Survivalist. So advantage in terms of upgrades goes to our Magyar simply by virtue of the fact that he is playing Magyars. But this is a buttload of elephants, 19 elephants going up to 32. Where are the other 9? Okay, needs to position his armies better, does HGB. I mean, you want to have Pike forward. I get that there's karambits on the field. I'm going to zoom out so we can watch this massive battle here. Pike and Knights trying to decimate the elephants. They're doing a good job. I don't think they're going to win this engage, but they are for sure trading out very cost effective. I mean, Survivalist needs a lot of resources to recreate this army. I mean, a whole bunch of elephants just went down, even with the discount and the buff to elephants. Plus, HGB keeps converting random elephants, conscripting them into his army. Will this castle go up? 3 villagers desperately trying, 2 villagers trying. The Pike are going to try to attack the villagers. There's just not enough here for HGB. Even though military count is similar, 27 to 27. I mean, look at the HP on these elephants, 250 HP. Okay, Pike are going to tickle away these elephants. Okay, now HGB has to retreat. He has to retreat. He's lost the center of the map. Yeah, this is terrible for HGB. I mean, he's got the army advantage in terms of numbers, but in terms of quality, I mean, I say that. Let's take a look at the elephants, how damaged they are. Yeah, look at that at the bottom left. 3,000 HP out of 4,000. So Survivalist has to be careful. He's got the numbers, but these units, a bunch of them are weak as shit. And 1 monk, I heard the healing sound. That 1 monk is not going to heal all of these in time. On the other hand, HGB's army is smaller. It's got 1,000 HP less, but it has bonus damage by virtue of the Pike, and it's in better health. Well, that being said, don't throw away your units. I mean, I know they're cheap, but don't throw them away. Okay, trying to do a little flanking motion is HGB, sending 13 knights. Has he seen this mining camp? No, he is not. Good for Survivalist here. He sees the move out of the knights and immediately fortifies this position with a bunch of houses to give that mining camp a bit of longevity. And he's finally 50 seconds away from Imperial, is our blue Magyar player. The question is, too little too late? 3 Trebs are going to gun this castle down. I mean, come on. 7 villagers are cute, but they're not going to repair this. Plus, he's starting to run out of stone. He's hitting 200 now. He's got to upgrade these to Cavaliers. He's got to upgrade his Pike to Halberdiers, and he needs time for that. The question is, will Survivalist give him time? I mean, brilliant move here by HGB. As I said, he needs time right now. Right now, he has resources. What he needs is the time to use those resources to upgrade his units. So he's trying to distract Survivalist here, but Survivalist is not having it. He's saying, forget that side gate. I've still got my castle here, and I've still got a bunch of elephant reinforcements. Take it. I'm just pushing up the guts. With 22 elephants. Look at the bottom. I keep saying look at the bottom of your screen. 5,000 HP worth of elephants. I mean, that's crazy. And now the Karambits are coming in. They don't particularly have any bonus against Halberdiers or Knights, but there's 24 of them. And here we go. The Battle of Minas Tirith is about to start. We've got elephants on one side, knights on the other. Oh god, what a chaotic, horrible engage here for HGB. These halbs should be in the north. These knights should be in the south. Oh no, what a traffic jam. Plus he's 22 seconds away from Cavalier. Why is he engaging into this right now? Oh no, what a horrible engage here for HGB, whose entire army is just decimated. But these are now Cavaliers, these 13 knights that he sent out onto the map. They're almost at full HP, but does it even matter? We've got elephants and karambits in the south, elephants in the north. This is what he should have done 2 minutes ago. HGB is just walled off, pray that he doesn't lose too many structures, upgrade to Halb and Cavalier, and then attack. Oh god, he runs straight into 2 gates and a castle. I think he thought he could get these Trebs pretty easily. But oh, brilliant move here by Survivalist to build this weird little V-shaped enclosure. Now the elephants are in. Oh god, is Handcart really Is that really a priority right now? Okay, HGB's base is completely under attack. And take a look at the mini-map. You've just got a stream of red units coming across the map to reinforce here. They will get caught out by these 13 Cavaliers, who are now 12 because one got converted. But none of that does anything to combat what the hell is going on inside his base. He's building 30 pike, or rather halbs. Karambits, as I said, are the quintessential trash / raiding unit. And he'll clear up small pockets of these elephants. But by the time he does, more reinforcements will come. I think Survivalist needs to just ignore these Cavaliers. I think he might have to just give up the Trebs and focus more on just destroying the innards of HGB's castle. HGB has been knocked down to 100 villagers, 25 of whom are idle. So he is sitting at 75 working villagers right now. The Survivalist 130 almost. So the longer this goes on, the worse it actually is for HGB, even though he has managed to stabilize for the moment. Wow. I can't get over that one bad engage for HGB where his knights and his halberdiers just clanged into each other. Big traffic jam. Once the game is over, I want to rewind and see what exactly happened there. But my god, 33 battle elephants who are now elites, sitting on 300 HP, have now broken into HGB's base. I don't care how many halbs you have, you do not have enough to do a single lick of damage. Karambits coming in, 31 of them. Say goodbye to the halberdiers. I mean, Survivalist is smart here. He's pulling the elephants back to give the Karambits time to engage into the halbs. Okay, HGB building a bit of a proxy... building a bit of a proxy base here, trying to evade the attack. But look at the military count, 77 to 29. So right now we've got 29 battle elephants, 45 Karambits, facing off against 3 Cavaliers and 26 halbs. So the math, no matter how you look at it, does not work here for HGB. I think he realizes that. And even with this base that is, you know, what is it, 60% done, he's not going to have enough time to respond to this. Let's take a look at his production facilities. 7 barracks is a good number. 4 stables. I would have loved to see a few more stables. He does have enough wood, I think, for 1 more, and would easily gather more for more. He's got a lot of food. He's got a decent amount of gold. But yeah, I think he saw the writing on the wall. Knocked down to 100 villagers. Let's take a look at 200 halberdiers, 163 Karambits. This is what you love to see. So much spamming of this trash unit. Decent APMs, 127, 148. Kill counts are pretty similar, I would say. 300 for Survivalist, about 250 for HGB. I do want to rewind and take a look at what happened in that one battle. And I just realized, by the way, that I called that battle the Battle of Minas Tirith, which technically makes Survivalist the bad guy here. Because I think in the books and in the movie, I really only just saw the movie. I'm not going to say in the books because I don't know what happens in the books. But in the movie, I think the elephants are the bad guys. So unintentional. I did not mean to imply that Survivalist is the bad guy. I'm more like the United Nations here. You know, I observe, and here we go. Okay. So, sorry, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Okay, so in the beginning of this battle, we've got 27 elephants. Are they elite? Yes, they're elite. So literally 7,000 HP of elephants. We've got 26 Karambits. We've got an adorable deserter from Survivalist's army. We've got 36 halbs and 11 knights. For some reason, these knights are still back here. Doesn't matter. We're 53 seconds away from Cavalier. So number one, I think HGB would have been better served maybe retreating and doing what he does later, which is try to fortify this with walls and houses, etc., etc. Maybe pull a few villagers off the gold because you are producing halbs. You don't really need gold at the moment. And just wall this off, retreat with your army, maybe throw a few halbs at him, maybe try to go around him to distract him, which is what he did originally here, but it accomplished nothing. So let's take a look at this engage. So, I mean, tell me if you agree or disagree with my analysis. First of all, ignore the trebs. I don't care about those. We're looking at a battle here. The elephants are in the north. The karambits are in the south. These halberdiers should be in the north to square off against the elephants. I mean, they'll lose. 36 halbs against 26 elephants. They're going to lose. They're going to take down a shit ton of elephants, but they're still going to lose. But these knights, I mean, maybe they'll hold their own against twice as many karambits. I mean, the karambits are flimsy. Look at this, 30 HP. They've got 2 armor. These Magyar knights attack on a 12. So literally 3 swipes of a sword, and this karambit is done. Meanwhile, the karambit attacks on an 11, but the knight has 4. So each one of these karambits does 7 damage to a knight. Sorry to get all mathematical here, but I'm just trying to figure out whether these knights could have held off. And maybe somebody in the comments who's better at math and actuary sciences can tell me if I'm right or wrong. But I think these knights could have easily handled. I mean, one karambit that attacks on a 7 would need basically 17 swipes to kill a knight, while a knight needs only 3 to kill a karambit. So even though he's outnumbered 2 to 1, these knights easily could have killed these and then turned around becoming cavaliers and handled the elephants, or at least it helped. But look at what happens here. Look at this. I mean, HGB obviously agrees with me because he's positioning his army exactly the way I think it should be positioned. But there's a giant freaking traffic jam here in the center of the map for him. Let's play it in slow motion. Look at this. I mean, he's going backwards with the knights. The only explanation I have for this is that he knows he's 45 seconds away from Cavalier. And by virtue of that, he's trying to save as many knights as he can, including these ones. I mean, look at this horse trying to get some sunlight. Just living his best life while his compatriots are dying beneath elephant tusks and these giant swords. Or spears with swords at the end of them. I remember there's a name for this weapon, but I just can't remember exactly what it is. I did not notice this detail, by the way. Just like in Lord of the Rings, the elephants have these chains around their tusks. My God, hat tip to the developers of this game. I love this game so much. Anyway, enough nerding out. Let's take a look at how this battle progresses. So like I said, HGB retreats with these knights. I mean, there's a few that are stuck here just by virtue of this mass of humanity just pushing up against red. But 7 of them do manage to get to the back. I think he wants to wait with them until they're cavaliers, and he has plenty of time. 45 seconds, in-game seconds, is not a lot of time. So the halbs engage partially, but then, oh, he should have deleted this house too. This house blocked him, so some of the halbs, the pathing went west. And now he engages into the elephant, but all the halbs are busy fighting the karambits. You're busy fighting a trash unit, which is exactly what Survivalist wants. And exactly what won him this game. This one battle. This battle of Minas Tirith is exactly what won Survivalist the game. And these elephants, I mean, still has 25 of them. 5,500 HP. My God, are they tanky. And as I said, while this battle goes on, I'm just going to pause it. Take a look at the map. Endless stream of units. This is what one of my favorite casters, Pig, who does StarCraft casts, calls this a parade push, because it's just an endless line of units streaming across the map. The halbs are winning us, getting some Pyrrhic victories here on the southern portion of the battle. But all the knights, all the halbs here are dead. And he's been knocked down to 22 army supply against the 53 of Survivalist. And by the way, the 53 of Survivalist is freaking elephants. So 3,000 HP of elephants against 20 units of halbs, each one at 60 HP. So what a terrible, terrible engage. You know, the game ended at the 40-something minute mark. I'm a great caster, by the way. I don't let my inattention to detail. Oh my God. But I'm calling this game. First of all, I love Capture Age. Look at this, how cool this software is. This is it. I'm calling the time of death here at 40 minutes and 7 seconds. This is what when HGB died. Everything after that was just the cherry on the sundae, or whatever the expression is. But this is when he died. The fact that he completely jammed himself up while this massive red army just bore down up on him. I mean, look how open and maneuverable this army is for red, and how stuck in place. I mean, look at these knights. They're going 7 different directions. Now the halbs are retreating because they're engaging the karambits. The knights rush in to engage the karambits, who tickle away their HP. I mean, look at that. How it takes 4 karambits to take down 1 knight. And then the halbs engage with the karambits. Yay. Terrible engage here for HGB. Fantastic engage for our red Malay player. And like I said, I was not expecting infantry. I was expecting late game by virtue of the fact that this is arena. And overall, my predictions worked. We had a fast castle. We had a relic collection phase. And then we have the beat the shit out of each other phase, which is where Survivalist, I think by virtue of getting to Imperial first, I mean, this town center, when he built that, and he just had that up for so long before HGB put up his own town center, that might have given him the villager advantage to collect all the resources he needs. Because believe me, these are, even with the discounts, even with the buff, these elephants are not cheap. They are not halbs. They take a lot of time to build. They take a lot of time to get across the map. But my God, once they get there, do they pack a punch. So overall, very good game by both players. Fantastic hard-fought win for Survivalist. But like I said, I wish HGB could have retreated with this force, that, or at least sacrifice the halbs, because the halbs are replaceable, right? You've got, what did I say, 7 barracks. I mean, oh no, now he's building them 40 minutes into the game. I would have liked to see maybe more barracks at this stage, but at the end of the day, he had 7 barracks. You can produce halberdiers for days. What you can't produce for days is cavaliers, which are 25 seconds away at this point. Maybe sacrifice the halbs against the elephants and then retreat with your cavalry force. Did he forget about this part? This 13? I mean, these 13 could have really helped out. Imagine, out of all of this, just like in Lord of the Rings, all of a sudden a huge body of cavalry comes in and just charges into the side. Not that there's any kind of flanking bonus or rear attack bonus in this game. That would be very freaking cool. So I'm not speaking in that sense, but it definitely 13 cavaliers. Sorry, yeah, it's 13, right? So by the time they get to the battle, they will be cavaliers. 13 cavaliers charging into this could do a lot of serious damage. But overall, very fun game. Very fun game. I just love to see elephants so much. They're just such a beautiful unit. I mean, the attention to detail by the developers is incredible. I did not notice that they have these chains on their tusks. Kudos to everyone. What a fantastic hard-fought W for Survivalist, and GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.